How to get yourself a baseball at a major league stadium. Yo, what's up guys? Today I'm going to be telling you guys how to catch yourself a major league baseball. If you guys have been watching my videos and seen a lot of my videos on my channel, I catch a ton of baseballs, and getting these baseballs are just not as hard as you think. And I'll tell you guys in this video just how you can get yourself a major league baseball. The hardest thing to catching baseballs may come as a surprise, but it's just getting to the stadium. Not just to the stadium, but on time and early. Come really early before the game. Getting to the stadium is the most important thing because if you're not there, you obviously can't catch baseballs in the first place. So if you do this step, you basically have the hardest challenge out of the way. So major league stadiums open at different times. Some open up like an hour and a half before the game starts, and some open up like 2.5 hours before the game starts. So for whatever stadium you're going to, search the home team's website and see what time the stadium opens. For example, Angel Stadium, if you're going there, it opens up 2 hours early. So if the gates open 2 hours early, you have to come before the gates open. Depending on how popular the game is or how crowded it's gonna be, there might be a lot of people that come right before the gates open. So you should come about 20 minutes before the gates open or earlier, because like 10 minutes before the gates open, it gets so crowded and just everybody comes piled up in lines behind the gates. So make sure you show up early and make sure you're at the right gate. Some stadiums, there might be only one gate, like one part of the stadium that opens up super early. So you have to know which gate opens up early so you can get in. So let's get into the basic ball hawking part. So ball hawking is it's pretty much like snagging baseballs at professional baseball games. It's not like an actual defined word or anything, it's just like a term that we use. So once you're in the stadium, batting practice is the easiest time to get baseballs. You can come during the game, but that's a lot harder because everyone's in the stadium when the game starts. And there's not a lot of people in the stadium right when the gates open, and players hit batting practice. If you guys don't know, batting practice is when teams hit on the field like a few hours before the game. So the home team hits batting practice first. They usually hit like 2.5 hours early to an hour and 45 minutes early. So when you get in the stadium, the team that you'll see hitting the most is the away team. So they'll be hitting from about an hour and 45 minutes before the game starts to an hour before the game starts. So for about, depending on the stadium, an average of an hour of batting practice, you should get at least one baseball. Unless it's a crazy crowded game, it should be pretty easy to catch a baseball. As long as you know how to catch a baseball, you're pretty much fine. And as long as you bring a glove. One of the biggest things is just bringing a glove to the game, because that helps you catch baseballs, obviously. Actually, you might not even have to know how to catch a baseball. Players sometimes hand you baseballs, but most of the time they'll toss it to you. The easiest way to get a ball is to try to get a player's attention that has the ball for them to toss it to you or give it to you.
Can I get it? Thank you.
Saying like, can I have the ball please or something? You know, like yelling it so they can hear you. Not like yelling here or something like obnoxious or rude. Don't be rude to them or they'll get annoyed. Just try to kind of like ask them for a ball, like, can I have a ball please or something like that, or yell it to them so they can hear you, because sometimes the stadium's really loud and then they can give you a ball most of the time, especially if you're like a kid. It's a lot easier to get a baseball. The other big way to get a ball is to catch it off the bat. So you could either catch a foul ball during batting practice or a home run. Catching a home run is really hard. You have to track the ball like 400 feet off the bat, and it's spinning and curving because baseball players have a ton of power and the ball's always curving, and you have to navigate through the stands to catch the ball. It's not like you're in an outfield or anything, you're in a stands. So that's really hard. You could either catch a home run on the fly or get a ball after it bounces like off a few seats, you could grab it there. Now probably catching a home run is the hardest thing to do, but it's the best. It's the coolest thing to do. So like a lot of people come to the stadium just to catch home runs, not to get anything else, because that's the most exciting thing, pretty much. I try to get a lot of baseballs, so I'm not just going for home runs, but I've caught a few home runs on the fly, and it's still super hard for me. It's also an awesome feeling catching a home run on the fly. What I usually do is go for foul balls down the right field line, especially in their first round of BP. the players are hitting opposite field. So for righties, they'll hit a lot of foul balls and either catching it on the fly or catching it on a bounce or something. I get a lot of balls that way. And that brings me to the groups. There's usually 3 groups per team that hit. So the first 2 groups are like the starters that are hitting, and the third group is usually like bench players. So if you're watching the third group hitting and it's getting towards the end of that group, you can head towards the team that's hitting's dugout, because after batting practice, they'll run into their dugout and they could toss you a ball or something like that. And that brings me to like after batting practice, because if you didn't catch any baseballs during batting practice, you still can catch one during the game. And the best way to catch a ball during the game is by the dugouts. When teams after innings are running back to the dugout after they play defense, they'll usually toss the game ball to the stands. And a game ball is like the coolest ball to get because it's a game used MLB ball that's used in the game, not a practice ball. It's a game ball that they use, the pitchers used, they rub dirt on, and it's a different baseball and it's awesome. So this is pretty much all I could say about catching a baseball at a major league game. This is the biggest steps. This is the most important things you should know if you're trying to catch a baseball for the first time. The biggest thing is just getting to the stadium early, just getting yourself to a stadium, because I know a lot of people live like far away from major league stadiums and it's harder for them. But this is for people who are going to like their first games and just really want to catch a baseball. And basically, as long as you show up early, bring a glove, you should probably catch a baseball unless they don't hit batting practice or it's a really crowded game and it's just impossible to catch a ball because there's so many people before the game and during the game. And sometimes they don't hit batting practice. Every once in a while the teams will skip batting practice, whether it's raining or something, and that's just unlucky for you if you come during that game. If you guys still want to know more about catching baseballs, just watch my videos, and I wear a GoPro during batting practice so you guys can see exactly what I do at Angel Stadium or at different stadiums. I've been to different stadiums. And catching baseballs is just such a fun hobby. And the best part of it, you get to keep the baseballs. This is the coolest because you get to keep something that was used at a Major League Baseball field by Major League players, which is pretty awesome. I've gotten a few baseballs from Mike Trout, and that's just the coolest thing because you're holding the ball and you know that Mike Trout has also held the ball. And that is just so cool. Anyway, that is the video. If you guys are new to my channel, basically I go to baseball games and get autographs, baseballs, and other behind the scenes of players. You guys will see basically a fan experience of a game and a lot more. If you want to see close-ups of players and stuff like that, stay tuned to my channel. The next video that I'm gonna do is probably telling you guys how to get autographs at a baseball game, because that's another awesome thing to do when you're at a baseball game, is getting players autographs. So yeah guys, thank you for watching. Make sure you subscribe, like the video, comment if you guys have any video ideas for me. If you have any questions, I could do a Q&A or something like that. And yeah, thank you guys for watching. Peace.